beautiful people of the internet. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully great, and welcome to Budget Builds, where we use zero Forma and achieve maximum efficiency. In today's video, we are taking a closer look at Helios, arguably the best supportive Sentinel in the entire game. However, that is my personal opinion and I'll stay true to it. Before I continue with the video, let's talk merch. So I've just opened up a merch store. We're selling caps, hoodies, t-shirts, some pants, and a whole bunch of extra stuff. If you would like to support me or the channel any further, go and buy some merch. And if you guys do end up buying some merch, make sure to tag me at my personal Instagram account at @OneManArmyYigit or at @OneManArmyYigit_merch, and we'll definitely do some shoutouts. But before I continue with the video any further, make sure to spot and tick the subscribe button for more Warframe videos, and let's do this. Before I give you guys the build for Helios, there's one important piece of equipment that we're going to be needing, and that is the synthesis scanner. The reason behind this is because the build I'm about to give you guys gets Helios to scan everything like there's no tomorrow. Normally, you guys would go and keep yourself a limited amount of scanners, and every time Helios goes and scans something during a mission, it'll slowly start consuming from your inventory. I don't like this method because A, it burns through all your resources such as your credits, and B, you're going to be wasting time because I don't want to keep going back and forth to Cephalon Samaras just to buy more synthesis scanners. A solution to this is to go and get yourself a synthesis scanner that has infinite amount of charges, just like the one I have. If you guys don't know how to do that, don't worry, I've got you guys covered. I'm going to show you guys how to do it in this video. Alright, so the first things first, we have to go to our navigation and then interact with it like so. Then push escape, that way you guys can see all of the plans in one go. Next, you guys have to then go to any relay. In my case, I am going to Pluto, so I'm clicking here and I'm going to the Orcus relay. I'll see you guys when I actually get to the relay. So once you guys have landed in your relay, the next thing to do is to push escape, click on fast travel, and then click on Cephalon Samaras. Here, you'll then be taken to his sanctuary. The next thing to do is to go to the right here and then interact with his store. He'll tell you guys he has offerings. When you guys are interacting with the store, here are all the things that he is currently selling. Now, the thing that you guys have to go and buy is this thing right here called a soul battery widget. And according to the description, it's a synthesis scanner that recharges, so you guys don't have to keep going back and forth and buying the kinetic Cephalon trap or the synthesis scanner. However, the kinetic Cephalon trap is very important, but that's for a later video. So go ahead and buy yourself a soul battery widget. If you guys don't have this, go and buy yourself a synthesis scanner, but it's going to be very expensive. Now, in order to get this soul battery, you guys have to go and trade in 50,000 standing. I'll do a video in the future on how to get standing when it comes to Cephalon Samaras. So here's a build for Helios. As you guys can see, I haven't added any Forma whatsoever. Now, one thing I do want to say is Helios is arguably the best supportive Sentinel in the entire game because knowledge is power. What I mean by that is Helios' greatest strength comes from the fact that he goes and scans each and every single enemy that you come into contact with. He then takes that data and then transfers it to the codex. Now, if you guys bother to open up the codex, you'll learn that each enemy has its own weakness to a specific element. Let me give you guys an example. So let's say you go into a mission, you bring Helios, you come across some butchers, Helios scans them. That data is then transferred into the codex. Now, and you finish the mission, right? When you finish the mission, you decide to go access the codex. What's going to happen is you click on the butcher and you'll see. It'll tell you some lore about the butcher and it'll tell you what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, or in other terms, what's the best element to use against the butcher and what's the worst element to use against the butcher. Now, when the codex is open, you'll notice that there'll be there'll be, red and green symbols. Now, each symbol represents positive damage and negative damage. So for instance, if you see 3 green symbols next to a specific element, that means that that particular element deals 75% additional damage on top of your mods that you put on that particular weapon. If you guys see red symbols, what's going to happen is you'll deal 75% less damage. Each symbol represents 25% damage. And obviously if you see white symbols, that just means it's neutral damage. You won't be dealing anything extra. So that's what I mean by Helios' greatest strength. Another great reason why Helios is a great support is because of his stat stick. If you guys don't know what the stat stick is, you take Helios' deconstructor and you put on the 3 gladiator mods and you just take advantage of the gladiator stat or the set bonus. Now what the set bonus does for the gladiator mods, it gives you additional critical chance and it does stack with your combo multiplier. So with that being said, let's finally move on to our build. So on our number 1 spot, we have a mod called Vacuum, and as the description says, if you guys get between 11.5 meters close to a mod, what's going to happen is your Sentinel will then suck it up on your behalf and the mods will come to you instead of you going to the mods. A lazy person's mod, perfect for me. Next, we have a mod called Calculated Redirection, gives us more shield capacity, that way our Helios does not die as frequently. The same can be said for Enhanced Vitality, except the only difference is this mod right here gives us additional health. Next, we have a mod called Guardian. What happens is, let's say you guys run out of energy, your Sentinel will then instantly replenish 100% of your energy, making you a lot more tankier. And thanks to the shield gating mechanics, this is even better mod. This is a fantastic mod. Next, we have a Helios Augment. This is an amazing mod. It does really well with Investigator. So what Detect Vulnerability does is, when Helios scans an enemy, Helios will then reveal a weak spot for them, just like Banshee's sonar. So Helios will scan an enemy and that enemy will have a special weak spot. You shoot it, you'll deal even more damage. Helios, basically within 50 meters, Helios will scan everything. It only takes him 2 seconds. Like I said previously, this mod right here is the very reason why you need to have the infinite synthesis scanners, because this mod right here will just drain all of your scanners and you won't even notice it. Next, these next 3 mods are amazing. They basically make your Sentinel extremely OP. So let's go over them. First, we have Medi-Ray. What Medi-Ray does is basically 12% of your health is restored over 4 seconds. However, your Sentinel will do this here and there. Another great way to heal yourself while in combat. Next, we have our Self-Sacrifice. Sentinel takes 4 seconds to revive its downed owner to 100% health and shields destroyed itself after the process. So, as the mod says, if you guys go down, your Sentinel will attempt to heal you, and if it does heal you, it'll then kill itself. So, let's say you go down, your Sentinel will then bring you back up, and you'll be without any help. However, this is where primed regen comes from. If your Sentinel is killed, it will then regenerate twice with 80% max health and is invulnerable for 7 seconds. This mod is fantastic, works really well with Sacrifice, because when Sacrifice kicks in, what's going to happen is your Sentinel dies. Then thanks to Prime Regen, because it is quote unquote killed, it will then come back, giving you another chance at life. Think of it as a special way of cheating health. That is why I think this mod setup is amazing. This is my personal build that I always run with Helios. Another aspect that makes Helios so powerful is the fact that he offers us a stat stick. Now if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, basically I'm talking about the Deconstructor Prime. This is Helios's signature weapon. However, you can't use this particular weapon with other Sentinels such as Carrier or Worm. The game just doesn't allow you. Now the way that the stat stick works is, all you need to do is add these 3 mods and you'll start taking advantage of their set bonus. With that being said, let me quickly go over it. So here is the mod configuration. As you guys can see, I've got Gladiator Might, Gladiator Vice, and Gladiator Vice. Now don't worry about their primary uses. Your main concern should be their secondary use, that being the set bonus. As you guys see at the bottom, it says 30% critical chance per combo multiplier. The same can be said for Gladiator Rush and the same can be said for Gladiator Might. Now all you guys need to do is make sure to bring Helios and his Deconstructor Prime and you can take advantage of their set bonus. However, let me show you guys how this works. Let me just quickly clear up a spot here and take note of the critical chance bonus. It tells you I'm given 30% additional critical chance. I take this off. As you guys can see, it went from 30 down to 20. I'll take this off. Now it's only at 10%. So in other words, you guys need to make sure that you have all 3 of these mods equipped in one singular build, and therefore you guys will have your additional set bonus. Now basically every time your combo multiplier goes up, so you go from like a 2 times multiplier, you'll gain 30%. You go up to 3, you'll gain a 30% additional, so on and so forth. Now don't worry if Helios does die. Let's say you guys ran out of revives because of the build I gave you, then you'll still take advantage of the stat bonus. The most important thing is to make sure that you guys have both Helios and the Deconstructor Prime in your arsenal during that mission. So let me show you guys how well Helios performs when you actually do go down. Now I can't really simulate exactly everything, but I can give you guys a quick glimpse of how it works. So let me just spawn in some heavy gunners. Let's just do 10, because you know the whole point is for me to die. And let's make them 150, why not, so they can just one tap me. So I'm going to simulate them and pay close attention to how Helios performs. As you guys can see, they're struggling to kill me. Helios is then healing me. And then look, I'm downed. Helios got killed. Helios is trying to revive me. And there you guys have it. He just killed himself. Now he revived you. As you guys can see, it's not much, but hey, it's better than no support, because usually when you guys are playing a game and you have a limited amount of revives, if you guys use up all your revives or start using up one revive, you'll slowly start losing XP. That's where Helios comes into handy. Now what just happened doesn't always happen, because you know these are high level enemies, so they'll one shot your Hue and your Helios, but Helios can still revive them because thanks to Sacrifice's 7-second invulnerability mod. And look, Helios is still healing me up. Ladies and gentlemen, so that is Helios Prime. Like I said, I feel he is the best supportive sentinel in the game, just because he can scan all your targets and reveal their weaknesses in the codex, and you know it's up to you if you go to the codex. And 2, because of the stat stick. Remember, the stat stick only Helios can take advantage because of the Deconstructor Prime. The game allows you to add melee mods. So with that being said, if you guys liked the video or if it genuinely helped you, make sure to leave a like and remember to spot and click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos. I'm gonna make like a banana and split.